It just came in. Coilovers just showed up. Let's get it open, check it out. And there they are. Rev 9 Hyper Sport 2, I believe they're called. Hyper Street 2s. Coilovers. 10K front, 12K rear. Dampening adjustable. I had these on the Lexus GS before it got wrecked. They were pretty good. So I'm expecting the same quality out of these. I can't wait to put these on later on tonight. This is gonna be nice. Okay, so it's old, worn out factory struts. It's gonna be a good ride. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of talking. We're just gonna get right into it. Let's jack it up, take the wheels off, and start pulling stuff off. Let's go. So this is the front suspension setup. Obviously we're going to try to get this shock and spring combo out. Looks like we got a bolt right there, and I know we got 3 at the top underneath the hood, and we got the one down there at the bottom that holds the bottom of the shock in. I can't remember exactly what I had to take off last time. Maybe this sway bar link, maybe this upper control arm, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Take the bolts out that hold the spring and everything together, and move whatever else you need to move out your way, and put a new one in. So let's get to it. So there's one of the old ones out, and if you take the nut off of the upper control arm, you can get this whole assembly to lean forward, and you got enough room to take the old one out. So bolt at the bottom, 3 bolts at the top, this bolt right there, and the bolt that holds this on, and boom, whole thing comes out. I only want to drop this down an inch, so what I did was I measured the old one. This one measured just shy of 22 inches. It was like 21 7/8. So I ran this one to just shy of 21 inches, about 20 inches, and 20 7/8 inches. So hopefully that gives me a 1 inch drop. I swapped over this little top plate, or spacer, whatever this was that was on the old one, just to not mess up the finish on this. And yeah, let's just go ahead and throw this in. I'm gonna lock this down. They say the preload is already set on the spring, so we're not gonna touch that. So I'm just gonna wind this down, lock it in, and throw it inside the car, and put everything back together. Yes sir, 1 down, 3 to go. We in. And word of advice, to get the upper control arm back in, if there's 2 bolts up there, right there inside, you see those? If you can loosen those up, then this won't have any tension on it, and you can maneuver this how you want. Also, in order to get, sometimes I've had a lot of trouble with the threads on the nuts or on the studs themselves. If you have a thread chaser to clean up the threads or to clean up the rust on the threads, it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier to put that back on. So yeah, loosen those 2 up. You can move this up and down how you feel without tension, and then once you get this squared away, you can tighten those back up and then tighten everything else back up. So yeah, 1 down and 3 to go. So both of the fronts are done. Time to drop it down and see what it looks like. Actually looks higher. It do look higher. I'm gonna have to measure and see. Pull out the measuring tape. Alright. Round 2. Let's see what we got now. Watch it be too low and I can't get the jack up. I'm mad. Okay. Okay. Sheesh. Sheesh. Well, that's nice. That's nice. 2 finger gap between the top of the tongue. Fender, that's nice. Okay, okay. Okay. See what we got over here. About the same, about the same. Okay. 2-finger gap. Okay, I like it. Shee. Alright. Time to do the backs. Alright, about to get started on the rears. Put the wheel off. This one looks a little bit more simple than the front. You only have the one bolt at the bottom, obviously right there. And I think this must be some sort of bracket for this plastic case right here. So those 2 bolts right there. And then you gotta come into the trunk. Peel your trunk liner back. And then you got the 3 bolts right there. Just take off the one, I only took off one retainer clip off of this. And same thing on the other side, take off a retainer clip and you have your 3 studs and nuts right there. So let me get to it. Now the reason I showed this bolt and this nut, because this messes with your camber adjustment. So what I was showing is to make sure you mark it. I try to mark it with something very visible. So I use a red marker, I can see it's right there. And I think I marked this side too. I marked the center of the hole, and I marked it with a red marker right around there too. And you want to put this back exactly how you took it out. That way you can at least get your alignment close to what it was before, if not exactly what it was before. If you don't, and you don't put it back exactly how it was, and you will have to go to an alignment place to get your car realigned. The camber will be all out of whack. So I just wanted to show that. And you take that bolt out so that you can drop this little control arm down, and you can get the factory spring out. So now that it's all out, it should be simple enough for me to just drop the new one in. So, let's see. Got the one side down. I do recommend, if you don't have long arms like I do, you get you a friend to try to put this in here and get one of the top nuts started so it can hang. Like I said, I have longer arms, so I was able to reach one hand on here and then reached around to the trunk area and got one of the nuts started on the top just so I can let it hang. But yeah, other than that, very simple, very straightforward. So you put the bolt in the bottom of that, you put your camber adjusting bolt back in there, and you should be good to go. And I'll probably end up having to take this all back apart so I can adjust the height. That's probably gonna be too tall, but at least it's in there. So I went ahead and finished putting the other side of the rear system back together. It came out pretty good. First adjustment. That's nice. Low it, not too low though. Here's the passenger side. Same, about the same gap. And I actually was able to get this and the fronts all about the same height on the first try. So I didn't have to go back and readjust the rears. I set them and it came out perfect. Here she is lowered about 1.5 inches front and rear. You can see we got the about 2-finger gap between the top and the fender. Even tucking a little bit more in the back. Sheesh, that's like 1 finger right there. Yeah, it's probably gonna need to be adjusted. Yeah, 2-finger gap right there. So definitely gotta adjust that. She looks pretty good. out here test driving the Lex. That was weird. Just put the coilovers on.
Your destination is on the left.
Thank you. Just put the coilovers on front and rear, Rev 9, Hyper Street 2. Obviously height, you can adjust the height, and these have the adjustable dampening. So I'm out test driving it right now, making sure everything's okay. Plus it's Friday, gotta drive the race car on Friday. So far so good. It's taking bumps pretty good. It's a hell of a lot better than having those old factory shocks. They were all worn out. So this is much better, much smoother ride. And then if I want to stiffen it up, I can stiffen it up. Soften it up, I can soften it up. So that's pretty good for me, especially at the price point. I think Rev 9 sells them on their website for $700, but you can find them at one of their authorized dealers for like $500. So not too bad. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, you should have went with BC Racing. That's cool and all, but I didn't want to spend $1,000 on the set of coolers just yet. Maybe later on down the line, maybe a year or so from now. Right now, I couldn't justify spending $1,000 on something that was going to do the same thing as something that costs $500 to $700. So, hey Greg, if you're watching this, Garage 79R, you did a fantastic job with this exhaust system. This thing sounds perfect. Not loud. You can definitely hear it's a V8. It's so quiet, so it doesn't really drone. So good. I think overall these coilovers are real good. I don't want to say budget, but like in that middle price range. I think they're pretty good. They seem to ride pretty good. Obviously, I've only had them on for a couple of days now, so only time will tell how long they will last. But installation was pretty simple. The ride is pretty good. Of course, anything beats what was on there before, so. But yeah, that's it for this video. We'll wrap this up right here. No telling what's in store, what's next for the car, for the build, but I'll keep you guys posted. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.